Oahu, on the island of Oahu, and we are going to see Maria, the crazy Tupperware mom, Olipas. And we're gonna do an interview with her for episode 5. Look, big Tupperware in big bold letters. And we're gonna do some cooking today. So this is actually gonna be our first cooking show on the show. And we're gonna eat like we normally do and have fun. So let's go.
So what?
So take us into the iconic kitchen that we always see on Facebook Live and Instagram Live.
It's nothing fancy, really. I mean, my kitchen is really small. But what I use to do my live streams is a Mevo camera. And it's just a compact camera because, you know, my kitchen's real small. I don't have room for, like, a setup right here.
Yeah.
But this gives me a wide angle so it catches my whole kitchen. So anything that's going on around me, everybody can be a part of. But I use that to actually do the live streaming. I'll have my phone set up to control the camera. But because the app that uses the camera doesn't allow me to see all the comments that come up and I want to talk to everybody, I'll watch the live on my iPad. And so that way I catch all their comments and try not to miss anybody so we can talk story with them. And I started doing Instagram lives at the same time as Facebook. So that way I was doing them all together at once simultaneously. And so to do that, I would get a spare phone and I would just use that one for my Instagram live. And so I would use the phone so that the camera's a little bit lower.
Because they haven't created anything that you can do Facebook and Instagram Live at the same time.
No.
Okay, so there's no app yet or whatever.
No, I wish there was.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be awesome.
I know.
That'd be so much easier.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like. I just have a whole bunch of. So that's why sometimes you'll see Jay come over and be like, "Where do I look?" And I'm like, "Oh, because I'm." It kind of looks like.
And that's a mean wide angle because if you look at the kitchen compared to what you see on her videos, like
it's a galley.
Yeah, I was surprised because every time I would watch your videos, I'm like, that's a huge house. Like Maria, like Tupperware is treating her good because that's a big house. And then when we came, I was like, wow,
that's it.
Yeah, it's so much smaller, you know. But I like how you keep it real because if you really look at it, her camera is on what is that like?
Oh, it's black salt.
Black salt. It looks professional and everything, but she keeps it real. And you know the scrunchie over here, and I like what's going on here. The Febreze.
Well, so the reason I keep this out, I don't really use it too much, is because when I have to move my Mevo onto my stovetop, if I'm cooking something here, I can just easily pick this up and it sits perfectly. The height is perfect to catch the pan as well as the people in it. And so that's why this is out, but it's just because it makes a really good phone holder. Yeah. And and I keep the Febreze there for the trash can and stitches here to hold any extra phones. It's a phone holder.
See, it's so cool. So for anyone that's looking into getting into Facebook Live or doing a live and you're like, oh, I don't have a camera or I don't have a professional camera or I don't have a lot of room. Look, no excuses. Anyone can do this. It's just you got to be a little creative and you got to have your setup and everything. But yeah, I love what you're doing. We're not going to talk much. We're going to talk while we cook. So we're actually going to go into some cooking today. And what are we going to cook today?
We're going to grill whatever you brought.
I brought some vegetables. We're going to grill some vegetables.
I don't know what kind of vegetables you brought. So that's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, it's going to be a surprise. And it's also going to be a surprise that you're going to see how bad of a cook I am. So
hopefully Tupperware can fix that.
Yeah, I think it can. Yeah. So we're going to go into the cooking and then we'll ask the questions and we'll just kind of have fun today.
Okay.
All right. Rock and roll.
Today I'm going to be showing you our MicroPro grill, which allows you to grill your vegetables and meats and make casseroles in the microwave. So I'm going to have you be my assistant.
Okay.
So you're going to wash your hands with soap, please.
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
Wash your hands
Hello.
with soap. And then we're going to have you wash the veggies and then cut them up. So you're going to cut it up however you like to eat it. Keep saying mom, mom. I don't know what mom, mom.
You're going to hear kids in the background. It's going to be really raw. because that's how we do it. You remember the first time we met? This is a funny story. Of course, we met through a mutual friend, Jay, and I was going to train Jay, and then she brought you and Kaipo.
Yes.
Now, here's a funny thing. If you guys know Kaipo and Jay, I mean, they're basically like local, what would you say? Like entertainer, influencer, and comedian, right?
Yes.
So, when two of you guys came along with Jay, I was like, okay, that one's crazy, that one's crazy. But then I was thinking, okay, Maria, she looks like the normal one, you know? Kaipo over here.
Hi.
You having fun?
I am.
Awesome.
This is our culture.
You having a great time?
God damn it.
Maria,
Hi.
you having fun?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Totally.
Tapping it out.
Tapping out.
You got Jelaine. So this is what you do. You just keep talking to yourself awkwardly.
60, 78.
You just keep telling yourself how sexy you are. Tell yourself how sexy you are. So when you guys got there, I remember you guys drove to the park and like let the whole park know that you guys were there. Jay was like, hey, here we are, and this and this and this.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how am I going to get through this session? We got two crazy ones, but Maria seems pretty nice. She must be the manager or something. That's what I was thinking, because I didn't know you guys. That was our first time meeting, right? So I was like, oh, she must be the manager. And then I started following you on Instagram and Facebook, and I was like, they call it crazy for a reason. So how would you explain your personality? Like, if someone was to say, oh, Maria is this, or what would be like your personality?
Personality? Well, first of all, I'm loud. I wouldn't
Especially when
say
you
shy.
laugh,
I wouldn't
right?
say shy, because I'm not shy. But
Okay.
just like anybody else, you have to kind of warm up to people, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't
Were you
know.
ever shy as a kid?
I
Growing
don't
up?
think so. I don't think so.
So were you like the class clown? You were
I
always
wasn't.
loud?
No, I wasn't that either. I think I was like in the middle.
Oh,
The
okay.
quiet Filipino girl.
The quiet Filipino girl.
We're gonna slice these up. So you should be a master at slicing veggies, because that's all you eat, right?
Jeez.
Right? I mean,
That's all I eat. I just eat vegetables all day long. So what we got here is we got squash, asparagus, bell pepper, and onion. You guys gonna get to see my chopping skills, which is pretty much zero. So yeah, we got some guests over, and we got like 3 kids out there. So you guys gonna hear some kids. It's gonna be as raw as it gets. We're on Maria's camera right now, so this is what you actually see on her Facebook Live and Instagram Live. But she's never had someone as tall as me, so.
yeah, this is the first.
So that's why my head is pretty much cut off every time I cut it, but it's okay. How do you normally cut it?
Did you trim the bottoms? Like the dry little end parts?
Tell me how you would do it.
Nice one.
Nice segue, you see?
And I'm just gonna put this in a bowl. And you want to do the squash?
I'll do the squash.
That way we can season them all at the same time, and then we'll start with the asparagus, because that would probably take the longest to cook out of all these veggies you brought.
Yeah.
Wow, look at those shopping skills. Excuse you. Wow.
Well, I don't want to brag, but you know, I eat bad stuff here and there.
Like what?
You know,
An egg.
I splurge once in a while. You know. No, peanut butter is my go-to. That's like my weakness, peanut butter.
Yeah.
So anything peanut butter, I'm like in heaven.
Okay, so we're gonna sprinkle just a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
I have roasted garlic powder, salt, and pepper. So you push down on this, and it pops the cover open, and then you can just drizzle how much you want on there.
Is that a lot?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
No, wait.
Oh, I don't mix it yet.
Seasoning.
Okay.
Well, God, you just
See,
so excited as soon as we
I'm
have the
excited, like,
lubrication.
so right now we're putting on the seasonings.
Just salt, pepper, and roasted garlic powder. And somebody asked me,
Olive oil.
where do you get roasted garlic powder? My mom got this at the grocery store, and McCormick also makes a roasted garlic powder. So you could either shake the bowl to get it all
Okay.
mixed, or you can get down and dirty and
I like
put
to
your
get
hands.
down and dirty.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so massage the vegetables.
Cue the sexy music.
I've been really trying, baby.
And so this is our Micro Pro grill, and this is a grill that goes in the microwave.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's not the microwaves that cook the food, it's the susceptor plates in the top and the bottom that heat up and convert that microwave energy into heat.
Wow. You
So-
sounded like a scientist there. Like, what the heck?
So
Am I interviewing Maria or am I interviewing a scientist? I don't know anymore.
plates actually heat up to 425 and it stays at that temperature. So it's
Okay.
regulated. So you could use it as a little oven in your microwave. So I do like crescent rolls or cinnamon rolls. I do them in here too.
Wow. Did you want to mix in the bell pepper and the onion too, or?
You can. I just kind of wanted so that you're not like denting the softer veggies. So we're doing the more denser ones.
Oh, okay.
So you can just line it up in here like in a flat row, and we're gonna put the cover on. Just lay it out however you want it.
Flat.
Yeah.
My question is, how much Tupperware do you own? If you could like give a rough estimate.
Just in my kitchen, probably over $1,000 worth.
Wow. Or how much pieces altogether?
Oh, there's a lot. I don't even know how many pieces.
In the hundreds.
More than that, probably. Okay, we're gonna just do one layer.
Okay.
So when you put the cover on, there's 2 settings for the cover.
Yeah.
There's casserole where it sits up on the lip like this, so you can do your different kind of casseroles, lasagna, meatloaf. You can do that all in here. And then there's this setting where it actually goes down in it. So now the plates at the top and the bottom are browning the food at the same time. So it takes about 3 minutes for it to hit temperature. So I'm going to put this in for 5 minutes. So that it gets temperature and then it kind of sears the veggies. So I'm just going to put this in for 5 minutes.
And that was very therapeutic, I gotta say. When I was massaging, like, I almost didn't even hear what you said while you were talking to me. I was like just getting
But as you can
dirty
see,
into it.
this is why I need to cook in the microwave because of the kids.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be hard to stir something on a hot stove if I'm holding them, and you know, a lot of people will tell me put them in a high chair or put them, you know, then you have to watch the stove and the high chair.
Yeah.
You know,
And then you'd be screaming.
so I'd rather find a better way to get meals done when you're a parent of multiple children that need you all the time.
So does that ever break your concentration? I know sometimes you do it live and like you hear kids screaming. Like, how do you?
I think I've gotten used to it now, but in the beginning it used to give me really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I was more worried about the viewers,
the audience and
well,
everything.
like I was worried about people that don't like listening to babies cry. And
Yeah.
I kept forgetting that majority of the people who were watching me were moms too that totally got it, and it made them feel a little bit more sane.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you feel like, am I the only one going through this? And you want to have a mental breakdown every single day.
Do you think your viewers, your followers can relate to you more, being that they see the rawness of, look, she's cooking, she's trying to do her life, she's running her business, and she takes care of her kid? Do you think it's more raw that way versus everything being like totally perfect, lighting and everything?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait. This thing is a highly absorbent IKEA mat. Excuse me. Coach, get off the.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay.
No, this thing is gonna suck it out. This is an IKEA rug.
By the way, I used to train Maria and her friend Jay back in the day. Yeah, so she still calls me coach.
Me when I say Damon, I'm like,
yeah. And she probably feels weird, like Damon. Ugh, yuck. And she has to like wash herself off, like, oh, I don't call you Damon.
Yeah. You can wash your hands if you want to, and we'll just use tongs.
Doesn't matter. I can be dirty.
You don't want to use my tongs.
I had a joke. So, you know, Harry actually told me a joke. He was like, when she mentions tongs, I want you to say this, but I totally forgot the joke. What was the joke again?
What was the joke?
Why did you say no?
Yeah, okay, so these are not just any kind of tongs. They are also salad tossers.
Wow.
Okay.
That was
That was a joke.
Tongs and salad tossers. Wow.
So you go
Okay.
from tongs
To toss.
tossing sauce. So you can toss your salads and play with your tongs later.
Wow.
In a
We have an
drawer.
audience here, so they're actually watching.
If you put that like this, you can snap apart and it's flat. And then when you need it for tong use, you put it together. And these can go. You can use this in your cooking pans when you're cooking. This will 400 degrees. It'll handle up to 400 degrees. If you leave it in a hot pan, clearly it'll melt. But I use this for cooking all the time. So here is side one. If you wanted to, you could flip it over.
And that was about 5 minutes?
This was 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because it's not really vented, the condensation stays inside, but it goes into the channels around the edges. So when you're doing like meat, beef, like if you're doing hamburger beef patties and stuff, all the fat will drain to the outside channel. So this kind of reminds me of a microwave version of the George Foreman grill.
Yeah. I always wanted one of those.
But the George Foreman grill, I always had a hard time cleaning because it's an electrical appliance.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I can throw the whole thing in the sink. Okay, so we're going to cover this back up again. I'll put it back in grill. Still sizzling. and I'll do it for maybe 2 to 3 minutes because I want the other side browned.
How did you get into Tupperware?
So my cousin was doing Tupperware and she asked me if I wanted to join and I said no. I just want free, like I
just want free stuff.
The most bang for my buck.
Yeah.
I'm a part of it. So I was a party host. So I used to host parties so I could get stuff for free or half off because that's all I wanted. And after about 6 months, I realized how much money I could have been making saving if I had just bought it for myself.
Were you hesitant at first? Like, you're thinking, oh, I don't know if this is going to work, or...
I was, not because I wasn't sure if it would work. It was more because I was with a couple other direct selling businesses already and had a full-time job. Okay. And so if I was going to be joining this, what would my purposes be? Is it just for a discount or is it to actually make money? And so after trying out for a little bit and being offered mentorship, I decided to give it a real shot, and I did, and I dropped the other ones because I just felt like I had more guidance, having a mentor like here to help me with all my baby steps,
help you through the process and learning and everything. And
so that's really how I got started. So the first year I was just a shopper.
And how long has it been so far that you've been with Tupperware?
This will be the 5th year.
What was the feeling of you letting go your full-time job, quitting your job? Like, do you remember the day you did it or the day you thought, okay, this is it, I'm gonna make the big jump?
Yes. And I was excited, mostly because in my heart, I didn't want to go back to that job after I delivered. And having the opportunity with Tupperware, I was like, maybe I should do it, maybe I shouldn't. But it was a family decision. I couldn't make that decision without consulting my husband first. But it was very freeing. And I kind of, it wasn't until after I did it that I told myself, what did I wait for? I should have done it a long time.
So it was the opposite of what most people would feel, which is scared, nervous. Like, so when you were going to it, were you nervous at all? Like, oh man, I'm going to make the big jump, I'm going to drop my full-time job?
I was scared and nervous because, especially living here where the cost of living is so high, it was a question of, can we survive a couple months if I don't work? And so he agreed to give it a try, and he said, here's my stipulation, is you give it a try, and if it doesn't work and nothing comes with you doing this full-time, then you're going to have to go back and find a job. And I thought that was fair.
So you supported it. Yeah,
he
100%.
Did.
Yeah.
He did. Even after making that decision, which I think is the first step.
Yeah.
It still took 2 years
to get established and build. Yeah.
Yes. My mom left her roasted garlic powder, so that's why I've been eating it. It's not something I don't think I would go out and buy.
Roasted garlic by Badia? Is it Badia?
I think that's the brand.
Yeah, okay. We got to mention this because, maybe you might get a sponsor later. Badia. Now, is the top of the cover, sorry, I missed it. Is that a grill? Is it hot too?
The top, yes. So both the top and the bottom have plates in it that heat to 425.
Oh, cool.
And so that's how it browns both sides at the same time.
Okay, so you guys can kind of see it right there. And then
we're going to cook that one next.
Asparagus is coming up next. When you go into a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, what is your thought process? Do you plan something out? Are you like, okay, I'm going to focus on this? Or what are some of the things that you...
When I can, I'll think about what I have to make. And usually when that happens, it's because I have like really oddball things left in my kitchen. So I'm Googling like ground beef and broccoli and cauliflower.
So kind of like how we grew up with, where we make the most of everything, leftovers, and then we just stir it all together. It becomes Friday night surprise.
Yes. And I tell you, cream of mushroom is like the #1 thing to bring everything together and
taste
great.
Yeah. Cream of mushroom. We all grew up with that. Do you get distracted by when you're cooking and people are asking questions, or how did you tackle it in the beginning? Was it a process that you have to get used to?
It was. In the beginning, not too bad because I'd have 1 or 2 viewers, for like the whole 30 minutes. But when it started picking up, I would either miss their comments and just say, so sorry, I'll go back and watch it again because I'm still balancing it.
And then go back
I don't want to cut my finger. And then as I started to get to know each person that was watching me regularly, you kind of have things to talk about, or there's a place to like that needs picking up from where it left off at the last video. Yeah. So it made it easier to balance in between, and everybody got used to the personalities. And I think it got a little bit better. But in the beginning, everybody wants to know what am I doing,
Yeah.
what product is that, and now it's more like a community coming together when I would go on, and we all just kind of greet each other.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was
As
it was hard not to go squirrel, because you get caught up
Yeah.
and go down that rabbit hole with one conversation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So as time went on, did you notice like you would see more and more people viewing, more and more people following? Like at what point were you like, okay, I'm doing something right?
I don't think there was really a point where you go, wow. It was because everybody grew with me. They were the ones going, oh my God, you're at 20 viewers. Now you're at 40, 50, 60, 70. And we go up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God. And so they're the ones, because I'm busy doing what I'm doing, so I'm not focused on the number or what it says. I'm focused on what they're commenting so I can talk to them. And they were the ones that would say stuff like, oh my God, you're up to 200. What the heck? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
It was fun, but it also made me a little anxious, because now I'm like, there's 250
Now you got to
people.
deliver now.
Well, not so much that. It's just me. I was worried about, is somebody watching this criticizing me, saying, oh my God, that's not how you're supposed to do it. And I was just waiting for that comment to come up and be prepared for that. And
I'm sure everyone has gotten a negative comment here and there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How do you deal with negative comments?
I just ignore them.
Okay.
I used to be very worried about them, and I realized that the people who follow me regularly are like family. I won't even need to say anything before they jump on and say, Lee, go get off, you know, don't worry about it.
So they kind of defend you in a way.
Yes, so I am very grateful for that. So I did this for 5 minutes, and there was a little bit of squash there, but it got all nice and brown.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to cook inside your kitchen?
What's my favorite thing to cook that I probably can't eat? My favorite thing is hamburger with cream of mushroom.
Oh, okay.
Or if I wasn't doing this low carb thing,
Yeah.
beef stew with lots of potatoes and carrots.
Mm.
Yes.
And that's your favorite go-to dishes, or you just love to make it?
That's what I enjoy eating when I can eat it.
Yeah.
And Kahlua pig, because I can do Kahlua pig in 9 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So-
pretty fast.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, we're grilling the rest, whatever's left, and everything's coming out really good. It looks really good. And we put just olive oil, salt and pepper, and
Roasted garlic
roasted
powder.
garlic by Badia. Get yours at your local grocery store today. Sponsorship. Now, what I've noticed watching your lives is, which is really cool, and I think you mentioned it before, is your husband is starting to kind of open up more, to the video making, and
He is. He was not a fan of this at all in the beginning.
yeah. What was his thoughts and his comments in the beginning? Was he like, "Why are you doing this? No one's watching,"
Yes.
or okay?
So he would be like, why are you still doing this? Like, why do you keep doing it? You get the same 2 people that watch you. And I'm like, I don't know. Because maybe one day it might change. You don't know. So he kind of was like, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And then when it started going somewhere, that's when he was like, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I kind of
Is he camera shy?
He used to be, not
Okay.
anymore. And that's because now people, like, he has fans
Yeah,
that
yeah.
are like hashtag Team Ramel.
What?
Yes, and so he comes on and he makes sure to acknowledge people and say hi. So he's like the greeter. You want to go Walmart and there's a greeter?
Yeah.
So he's the greeter. Because when I'm doing it, my mind is on cooking and I'm going to talk to them, but I really got to get this done or I'm going to swirl and then I'm not going to finish what I'm supposed to. And so I'll say hi when I can think about it. And then I'll just kind of converse back and forth. And then he'll come in and be like, hi, so-and-so, hi, so-and-so. So he's like the greeter.
That's so funny. Because,
Yeah.
if I've always said, because I watch her lives, I've seen her videos, and I always said, like, your husband is one of the scariest looking dudes I've ever seen. Because he doesn't, like, I'm sure he smiles. I know he smiles, he laughs, whatever. But a lot of times he looks like,
Stern.
like I would be scared. Like, when I came here, I was like, is Romel going to be home? Because can you let him know, like, I'm just a friend coming to grow vegetables? That's what friends do. We just go over to each other's house and grow vegetables. I mean, doesn't every friend do that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's a very manly man from what I've seen.
He's good now. In the beginning, it was more, this is so dumb. Like, why are you doing it? Nobody's watching you. And I'm like, you just never know. And so I'm glad I never quit doing it. I'm glad I kept going.
Do you find him sometimes, like, really getting to it where he, like, tells you, let's go live today. Like, does he really like? Is there this soft side of Romel that we don't see on camera?
He won't exactly like jump up and be like, "Are you going live?" But if he comes home and I'm
He's
not
gonna
live,
murder me after
no,
this.
when he comes
He's
home
gonna
and I'm
kill
not live or he'll ask me, "Are you going on?" Or he's an admin to my page, so he can see if messages come through and they're asking if I'm gonna go live. And then he'll forward it, and he's like, "They're asking if are you going?" And I'm like, "I don't feel like doing it today, you know."
But you see a part of him that kind of wants you to.
Sometimes.
It's kind of cute.
Yeah, sometimes.
If you're consistent and you stick with it, and honestly, Maria, that's one of the things I really admire about you is your consistency. You know, like every week, no matter what, 2 viewers. You know, I've been in your lives where I'm like the only one. You know, and like, oh, you're talking to your daughter. Oh, look, Uncle Damon. You know, or Uncle Coach, whatever she calls me. I'm like, yeah, you know, and it's just like us talking.
Yeah,
you know, and I was able to see you because we knew each other. What? Close to 2 years now, over a year or so, and we started training with each other, and I've seen you grow in numbers and also your viewers and everything. I'm like, damn. And in the beginning, I would always think like, how does Maria do it? She goes on over and over, because I've been there where I go on live and like only my mom is viewing. I'm like, hey mom, how's it going at home? And it can be discouraging for a lot of people because you're like, okay, I'm working this hard, I'm planning everything, I'm coming on live for you, taking my time, and only 2 of you come. Or the ones that hurt the most is when they come in and they go out. That kills me. I'm like, hey, John, what the heck, John? So I really admire that about you, is your consistency, no matter what, day by day, week by week.
I think it was, honestly, I think it's because the whole purpose of me doing the lives, although having people watching you makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was more to be able to document what it is I do, because everything I cook in my kitchen, everything I do and use is all Tupperware. Yeah. So I might as well just document it somehow. And mostly because I was thinking about having a baby. Yeah. And so I needed some kind of content that's already up, or something that I could have planned to go up after I deliver, so that way my page wasn't quiet just because I couldn't post anything. And then you make clips or whatever from the actual lives, and then you have content like nonstop, right? Because some people don't want to watch the whole 40 minutes of me making something. Yeah. They just want the recipe and the process, or what it looked like afterwards, and that gives people ideas on what they can cook for their meals. So you give them sneak peeks and clips and everything. Yeah, that's cool. And it's like, I feel like your show has become like almost synonymous. Your lives have come almost synonymous with the brand, the Crazy Tupperware Mom, which is how did you get the name Crazy Tupperware Mom? Well, my oldest son, decided to come over and put non-Tupperware things in my cabinet. Okay. Because he saw all the signs that I made for my cabinet. And so he wanted to see what my reaction was going to be, and then that's how the name started. Was he got me on video losing my everything when I opened it, because I'm always fixing that, and they just come in and put like other brands in there, and it's supposed to be just Tupperware. Yeah. And so he put like other stuff in there, and I lost it, and that video kind of took off, and so that's how I got that name. So when he said it, or he would hashtag it, or he would call it the Crazy Tupperware. Well, he actually said, "Is anybody else's mom as crazy as mine?" And that was the name of the video, was the Crazy Tupperware Mom. Oh. And so that's it. That's how I got the name, and it stuck. And then as soon as you heard it, you're like, were you like instantly like, that's gonna be my name? Or no, did it take some time? It took some time. So originally I was like hesitant about getting that posted. Yeah. But my son was like, but mom, it's so funny because a lot of other moms are like that too. Yeah, so let's just post it. I'm like, okay, fine. I didn't know that it was gonna take off the way it did, but I'm thankful for it. The birth of the Crazy Tupperware Mom. Wow. Eat vegetables. So there's the 6-minute grilled asparagus. Oh, that's so good. Beautiful. And you can see I'm not using oven mitts for this. Yeah. So you can try your asparagus and let me know what you think. Oh, wow. Salt, pepper, olive oil, and roasted garlic by Badia. I tell you, we're gonna get sponsored by the end of this. You know that, right? Are we really? Yeah, Badia.
sponsor or using your stuff. What would be your advice for anyone that's looking to make the big jump and either quit their full-time job or go part-time and focus on their passion? Like, because it is scary for a lot of moms or even dads to make that big jump.
Well, first, you can't do it without the consent of your spouse, because that, I mean, you're letting go of half of your income for your family budget. Yeah. And you have to be prepared for disappointment. Because it's not always going to work out until it actually does start to build momentum. Yeah. So you're going to get more no's than yeses in the beginning. How did you deal with it in the beginning? Well, I mean, obviously it was hard, but after a while were you kind of like used to it and you're like, I was used to the rejection, but you just kind of find other ways to like make it happen. So for example, getting a party dated. A lot of people hear the word party and they think, oh my god, I have to get this whole meal, I gotta clean my whole house, I have to make everything perfect, and it doesn't need to be. A party could mean 2 to 3 people, like this is a party where there's everybody all together and you guys are watching me do a grill thing. So that would be a party. But I think a lot of people have that misconception that a party is a lot of work, and it isn't. Wow. So I would have to find other words to describe it. So I do cooking classes now, and we are going to start doing socials where everybody gets together, which it's just a matter of talking about Tupperware. That's it. There's no formal pitch or anything like that. It's just getting together with people and sharing it, which is the intent behind my page. It was to get the sales and raise it was mostly to just raise awareness that Tupperware was still around. That was my main goal with my page. It's more community, you would say, right? And food, right? Yes. I don't have them right now. What would you recommend to people who are looking at doing a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, but maybe they're shy or they're not that confident? I mean, obviously, this wasn't always easy for you. You had it hard in the beginning. You would get distracted by comments. You would, have that noise in your head of what are they thinking? Are they judging me? What would be some advice to people who are looking at getting into what you're doing going live? I think before you start doing it, the question you need to ask yourself is, what do you want to get out of it? What are the intentions you have behind doing that, and what's the purpose? Because a lot of people go on and their expectation is they're going to sell $1,000 worth of Tupperware. Yeah. Or I'm going to recruit 1,000 people because I did this live. And that's where they start to feel like disappointment and failure because they didn't get the outcome they were expecting by doing what they were doing. Yeah. And that also, that's what also helped allow me to keep going, because I had to think about what it is I wanted out of that. Do I want 5,000 followers? Was it the view count, the followership? Was it the sales? What was it? And so mine was just to raise awareness and show people this is how I get meals done. So I didn't even have to turn on the stove today. Yeah. And that's what I was expecting. I was like, we're going to grill, and then it went microwave, went old school, like ghetto grilling. Yeah. I was like, cool. I mean, if you're cooking for a huge group of people, then clearly using a big pan on a stove makes sense. But if it's just a bunch of us, this is perfect. Yeah. I thought we did good. Well, guys, thank you for joining the show. We are going to finish eating. I'm going to finish eating this, but thank you for joining us on episode 5 with Maria, aka Crazy Tupperware Mom. And we're going to enjoy this. And it looks like she wants to enjoy it too. So you might have a future vegetarian. Maybe. We'll see. All right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we will see you later.